Hey everybody, Derek Bisson here, and today's Q&A session is going to be a little different. All of the questions are going to be centered around a particular subject matter, which is marital status as it relates to purchasing real estate in the state of Florida. Now, if you apply for a mortgage anywhere from coast to coast, you're going to fill out a uniform residential loan application, and marital status is one of the things that is on that. It's important because it actually has to do with the financial responsibility of the new mortgage payments, and it also has to do with the ownership percentage of the home, and it also wraps in survivorship rights as well. In this video, we're going to be covering some very basic legal definitions to help you understand the context so that the questions and answers will actually make more sense. Full disclosure, I'm not a lawyer. If you need legal advice, please seek that from a lawyer. Now, after we've completed the definitions, we're going to jump right into the questions. So let's get started. All right, to get us started, there are two basic definitions you'll need to know. Number one, the difference between the title of the home and the mortgage payments on a home. Those are two very distinct differences, but they are intertwined, okay? The title deals with the ownership percentages and survivorship of the home, and the mortgage has to do with the financial responsibility to make the new mortgage payments. And now that we covered some basics, let's jump right into the questions. I'm married. Does my spouse need to go on the loan application? No. Your spouse does not need to go on the loan application unless your spouse's income, for instance, may be necessary for qualification purposes, or if your spouse is simply looking to join the application to get mortgage credit history. I'm married, and does my spouse need to go on the title of the home when I'm buying? Yes. If you're purchasing real estate in the state of Florida and the purpose of buying that home is for the use as a primary residence or homestead, or a second or vacation home, then your spouse does need to sign on the ownership or the title of the new home with you. If the home is being purchased for investment purposes, then no, your spouse does not need to join you on the loan application or the title. I'm currently in the middle of a divorce. Can I still buy a home? Yes, you can still buy a home, but keep in mind, you're still legally married. That means that if you're purchasing real estate in the state of Florida, that means your spouse is going to own half of that home. They have to be there at the closing. Even if you're the only one on the loan application, your spouse is still going to get half of that house. So if your intention is to go it alone, then you need to wait until the divorce is final. I'm separated from my spouse, but I'd like to buy a home for myself and move into it. Can I do this? Yes. However, you are still legally married, and in the state of Florida, if you're planning to occupy it, or if it's a second or vacation home, then your spouse is going to have to show up at the closing to be on the title. They will have half of the ownership of the home along with you, even if you're the only one on the mortgage application. If you want to go it alone, you need to wait until a divorce decree has been finalized. I'm not legally married, but I'm in a civil union. Can I buy a home with my partner? Yes, you can. Here in the state of Florida, when you buy a home, there's no difference between a civil union and a marriage. So you can buy it in the same way. I just got divorced and my spouse was awarded our old house. Can I go out and buy a new home? Yes, you can do this on your own now that you're divorced. Keep in mind that if your name was on the mortgage statement that came in every month on your old home, you need to keep a copy of your divorce decree and the marital settlement agreement showing that your ex-spouse was awarded that home, and take that documentation and give it to your lender when you do your pre-approval. I'm recently married. How do I add my new spouse to my existing home? You can add your new spouse, or anyone else for that matter who is of legal age, to the title of your home and share equal ownership with them through a process called a quitclaim deed. Here in the state of Florida, you can get a quitclaim deed from any title insurance company, family law attorney, or a real estate attorney. I was single when I bought my home, but I'm married now. Is my spouse automatically added to my mortgage loan or the title of the home? No. Just because you're married does not change your existing documentation. Now, you can consult your lawyer about what the ramifications of getting married is, but the answer to the question is it does not automatically change your paperwork. Now, the best way to add somebody onto the mortgage if you have a new spouse is through a process called quitclaim deed. And here in Florida, you can get a quitclaim deed from any title insurance company, family law attorney, or real estate attorney. I was single when I bought my home, but now I'm married. What is the best way to make sure my spouse keeps the house if something happens to me? The best way to protect your spouse in this case is to add them onto the title through a process called a quitclaim deed. Here in the state of Florida, you can get a quitclaim deed from any title insurance company, family law attorney, or real estate attorney. You may also, if you speak to a family law attorney, you can also speak to them about the possibility of getting a last will and testament draw up. That'll further help protect you, but consult a lawyer for those details. I just completed my divorce and the judge awarded me the home. How do I make sure that my former spouse is removed from the home? Here in the state of Florida, there are two ways to remove a spouse from a home. You can refinance or you can sell the home. Those are your two options, and either of those will do the trick. The key here is that the existing debt on that home in the form of a mortgage or home equity line of credit does need to be paid in full, and that through that action, it does release all the financial responsibility and entanglements with your former spouse. I'm married and my spouse is the only one on the mortgage. What happens to my home if something happens to them and I can't make the mortgage payments? If the mortgage payments aren't being met, then the lender is going to start the process of foreclosure, whether you're occupying the home or own 100% of the home or whatnot. But if you're looking to protect yourself, there are programs out there. There's mortgage insurance, protection insurance. It's a form of credit life insurance, but in most cases, the most affordable way to get the job done here to protect yourself and to pay off the mortgage if something happens to your spouse is to get a term life insurance policy. I'm divorced and I'm applying for a new home loan. My former spouse never refinanced our old home and the mortgage still shows up on my credit report. Can I still qualify for a new home loan? Yes. Keep a copy of your divorce decree and marital settlement agreement and provide that to your lender. Also, you're going to want to stay on top of this because over time, if you still have that mortgage out there on your credit history, then your credit history is subject to whatever their payment habits are. So if something happens to them and they're not able to make the payments, then your credit rating could suffer as a result. And there you have it. We hope you found this helpful. If there's a question that you have that was not addressed here today, or if you'd like more information, drop a comment in the link below. We'll do our best to get back with you. And if you'd like to ask a mortgage-related question for a future video, be sure to leave a comment down there as well. Consider subscribing to the channel. We love to have new followers. Make sure that if you hit subscribe, you hit the little bell so you'll be alerted when a new video comes out. And if you're looking to purchase, get pre-approved or refinance a home anywhere in the state of Florida, we'd love to answer all of your questions and help you out as best we can. Thanks again for watching. I'm Derek Bisson, and this is Unconventional Lending.